Hello, so my name is Sonia Terrab. I'm Moroccan and I live between Morocco and France. I'm a filmmaker. Before making movies, I was also a journalist and a writer. I wrote 2 novels before becoming a filmmaker 10 years ago. I did a lot of documentaries in Morocco. I filmed a lot of difficult neighborhood and difficult social contexts in Morocco. And I'm also very interested in women issues since I'm a feminist, and also I was an activist, feminist activist. And this is my first fiction. And even if it's a fiction, it's also very close to documentary. My inspiration for this movie, when I was making documentary, I went to difficult neighborhoods when I met a lot of young people and they did quit school. So I didn't understand why. When I asked why they were not in school anymore, they told me about this law and they told me that their mother could not transfer them since the father left and things like that, difficult things like that. And in the meantime, I was a feminist activist and I founded a movement, a big movement in Morocco, which is called Moroccan Outlaws, and it was a way of defying the laws by saying we are outlaws because these laws are so unjust, because in Morocco you can go to jail if you have sexual relations outside of marriage, if you have abortion, if you're LGBT. So there are lots of laws like this that are very on your personal freedom, and we wanted to tell that we are outlaws because we don't agree with these laws, and these laws put us in danger. And for instance, in Morocco, when a woman gets raped and she goes to police, the police say, no, you cannot prove that you were raped, so we are going to put you in jail for sexual relationship outside of marriage. So instead of having laws that protect us as women, we have laws that put us in danger. And for me, these laws of guardianship and the fact that the father has to sign a paper, if not the kid will quit school, is also a kind of law that instead of protecting women and children, they put them in danger. Unfortunately, today the systems of laws are still in place, and in Morocco you can be free if you have money. The more money you have, the more you can be an outlaw, and the more you can lie and cheat and control the law, get outside of the law and corruption and stuff like this. So it's easier for the people who have money, but the less money you have, the more difficult it is. So in the situation of this movie, so this is a real story because I did a big investigation and I talked to a lot of women and I went to a lot of different places, and especially in this kind of situations where people are very they don't have any kind of protection, and since she lives in an illegal neighborhood and this neighborhood will be destroyed, so she has nothing and no one to help her, so it's difficult for her to resist the law. And so the laws exist, but people kind of live outside of them because in the daily life you don't feel that it's a very big thing, but when you go in very difficult areas or you go to challenge economically challenged families, you see that this happens a lot. So yeah, the final scene of the movie is also this gesture of being an outlaw, because we understand that she's illiterate, she doesn't know how to write, to read, I think because the way she signs, she just makes around. So for me it was very important to see that this woman, she chose she chose her dignity and she chose to resist the law because the law is so unjust, and this gesture, and because she is illiterate, everything and more, she's illiterate, so this is more powerful. And the signature for me was a way of saying I'm not part of the system, I refuse the system, and I have the right to refuse the system. And when she goes and she confronts the director of the school, she knows that it's 50-50. He can help her, but he can refuse and even put her in jail because she falsifies signature. It's a fake signature. But for me, it was very important to show a woman that will choose herself as a woman and as a citizen before to choose herself as a mother. So it was like, for me, cinema is also, it's a powerful gesture to show the possibility of womanhood, but like in a very powerful way. I think for me there is like, for instance, after this screening today, I heard that a lot of people were touched by the way son regard, like the look in her eyes, that's more like that it was even more powerful than her gesture. So I discovered the meaning of my movie to the public eyes, like when I go to festivals and when I meet like the viewers and they give me the message, every time I discover more about how this movie impacts other people and how it can be universal, because I'm telling a Moroccan story, but it's also a story about dignity, a story about freedom, a story about motherhood, about womanhood, and it's very and a story about resistance. And for me, we live in a very difficult situation today worldwide because of the crisis and stuff like this. And it's very important also for the cinema to say stories about individual resistance, how each of us as an individual has the power to resist. And this woman, that's what she does. Because I wanted to show a woman that is in a kind of prison, like she's closed by, she doesn't have the luxury to look big, because her life is getting more and more narrowed down because of the choices she has. She has no choice, her neighborhood is going to be destroyed, her husband left her, she has a small kid, so she doesn't have the luxury to look to bigger things. So she's like, this is her frame of life, and it was very important that the viewer also feels that she lives in a small frame, not a big frame.